G'day everyone, welcome back. So today is moving day. We have nearly finished this paddock here, so I'll show you on AgriTrack. We're nearly done. So I've only got, I'm going to say we've only got about 15 hectares left to go. Tractor is obviously just here. So George last night did this little bit here until about 10 o'clock last night. So we once we finish this paddock, we're going to head down to our biggest one, which is down here. 730 hectares, so that should keep the boys busy. So yeah, come along with us and I'll show you what it entails when we have to move paddocks. And yeah, we're doing a variety change as well, so we'll do that. So let's get into it. I should also mention it's currently about 9 degrees and very windy, so we're not spraying today because of the wind. Levi's going to jump on here this morning and go to about 8:30 when George comes out. It's George's day for driving the tractor, and then we're going to try and start our shifts. So George is going to work until like 11 o'clock to midnight tonight, so that we can start doing 24 hours. So he'll have a good night tonight, and then what are we today? Saturday? So no, Friday. So Saturday night he will come on at 7 PM and go till 7 AM. That's filling up, just doing the morning checks, just having a look, make sure everything's alright, and I found something. So these bolts here, they tend to shear, so you can see that this bolt here is still here, this one's gone, so that's what it's meant to look like. And we do go through a few of these a year. It's just due to the chattering, and I think when we hit rough ground or rocks, it just shocks it and drops this whole arm possibly, and yeah, just breaks. So we will be changing that once I finish fueling up, and I'll keep walking around and check to see if anything else is broken, but I'm gonna assume not. We've also got to do a seat check before we start it up, just to make sure that everything is coming out, and we're going to start the day off right. That's what it was. Well, that's what it was, and that's what it is. Looks like it might have broken a little while ago, but look at that. Just from the chattering, we've got another one broken on the bar. Levi's had a look, so we'll change that one as well. On to the next one. So the next one was just in here. So Levi's got that sorted. We've got the fans all running, warming up the air at the back here. So we will, once he's finished doing that, we'll drop the tines in the ground, do a seat check, and then should be on our way. Also, while having a look around, noticed that one of our points is on the piss, so the hook is broken off. Should look like that. That's just from all the rock. Got the stuff coming out of that time. So we have 19 hectares left to go, so let's call it 20. So 40 kilos of seed. There's already 15 in the seeder itself. So I'm just going to chuck 2 bags in so that we're all sorted, ready to go. And obviously we're going to have a little bit left over, but we'll come in 20 kilo bags, so there's not much I can do there.
Yeah, she's looking pretty empty.
So Levi's keen eye while he was doing a seed check noticed that this bolt here, up there where he is, was pretty much loose. Well, pretty much had come off. So I'm just going to give that a tighten up and then we'll be ready to roll. Only took us about 40 minutes of morning maintenance, but we are finally underway. So we're going to get fit by the end of the season because each bag's 20 kilos. There's 2 tonne here. We're only going to put 20 bags on the back of my ute for now, but we're going to carry all these up the top of the cedar. It's a shame they don't do them in a bigger size, but yeah, that's what it is. Rightio, we are all full with our T4510 on the back here, so nice and full. And we've got the service trailer as well. We need the air compressor because we've got to clean out the bin now because we're swapping seed. We want to make sure there's no contamination. So we've got to hop in and just blow it all out, clean it, make sure it's all clean, ready to roll. So now we're just waiting for George to finish off that paddock and then we'll start transporting. Well, he's nearly finished down there, if you can see him. Or you can see him on AgriTrack here, if you guys can see that. There you go. Nearly done. And it's also, we got 41k winds as an average and 49k gusts, so it's a horrible day outside. Just what we want to do is you know, get out and spend an hour filling and calibrating and changing everything over, but that's what we're going to do, so we'll do that. Paddock is complete. George is folding up. And we're about to hit the road. I'll get a bit closer to George and I'll show you just how big this bar is when we go down the road. It takes up the whole road. So that's why we got a pilot front and back. So I'm at the back here obviously and Levi is out the front and Henry has got the Wally and he's headed down to the paddock where we're heading to get ready to do a fill and get this cedar all calibrated and ready to roll for the rest of the day. So we've made it down to the paddock. So we're folding out here and then we're going to do a fill, calibrate, get him all ready, and then he's going to have to fold back up and then transport to the back piece of the paddock. You can't get through nice and quickly down our track, you got to drive around. So we're just going to do everything here so then we can get him all sorted, ready to roll, and then yeah, head on down and get seeding.
I apologise for the wind, it's bloody windy down here. Anyway, we're going to get the canola out of this pit and then clean it out and put new canola in. Now we're going to grab the air compressor, jump in, blow it out as best we can, and then yeah, we'll chuck the T4510 in. So I've jumped back into T2 because you can move the sections. We end up with this little bit of canola just there. Get it all done properly, clean that all out. And then we're going to blow downstairs again, blow the tube out, and then we'll be right to start filling canola. So from down here, you've got a bearing here, so blow all of it out of there. Okay. And then if you blow like along in there, you'll see it all start to come out here. So you'll have to blow for there for a couple of minutes. Greasing away. Now time to lift some canola up and dump it in. When I said we would get fit, you know, carrying all those bags, what I really meant was that Levi would get fit carrying all those bags up the top. So we're on to our last thing. We're just calibrating the canola now because it's a new variety, so we're just making sure. And then Levi will get that back to the shed and that full, and then George and I will head out the back there, and then George will get seeding. So we just finished our calibration, and again our canola, not that you can see that, is bang on. So we're about to get rolling. Seed check is complete. Paddock is all set up, ready to go in the computers, and George is rolling. Going to take him about an hour to do an outside lap in this paddock, I reckon. George has got that all covered, so I'm going to leave him to it. It's going to take him a while. This is our biggest paddock, so it's 733 hectares is what it is. The main piece that he's in now is about 670 odd, I think. Don't quote me on that. But I'll show you on AgriTrack. He's got quite a ways to go. So he's there, and he's obviously got to go all the way around. He's got to do that 3 times. So he's going to be doing that for quite a few hours, I'd imagine. So while he's all full and ready to roll, and I'm about to grab the water truck and go and take that back down to the paddock, so that's ready for Henry tomorrow. And to keep Levi out of the wind, he's doing some slashing for us. So he's jumped on the bug, got the slasher behind. So cutting down all the grass that's growing up, get it all back to being nice and neat and tidy. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Freightliner down to the paddock now. You on channel, George?
Yep.
I see you've finally finished your first lap. How'd it go?
Yeah, fine. Got about 3 blockages, I think.
Oh yeah. What was the time to get round? About an hour and a half?
Yeah, it was about an hour, 20 minutes.
Ah, nice and fun. Yeah, no, oh well, I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, no worries.
Cool. So yesterday we had a bit of a look at what we could do to try and improve the tap leaking situation, because it was quite windy yesterday as well. And we had a look up in our loft, because we did replace this one a couple of years ago, and we did actually have two of them. So we found that hiding up in the loft somewhere, and we replaced that, so it shouldn't leak anymore. So I'll show you the tap that we took off. It's just stuck open the whole time. Get into some sunlight. So that's the tap, and then when you open it, which is really easy to do one-handed. Hang on. Go this way. So when you open it, that's what they look like, and that's the back if anyone wants to see that. But when you close it, it wasn't closing the whole way. It seems to have gone now because I'm forcing it. We sprayed a whole heap of CRC and lube in there, so it looks like it's actually freed up overnight. Yesterday when we took it off, it wouldn't get back to being closed. It was staying about there. So no matter what we did when we opened and closed it, the tap was just always like that. But it seems to have sort of worked now, so we'll probably chuck that up in the loft for a spare again. But after seeding, I reckon we're going to give it a go of just trying to sort out a better way to sort that whole water manifold out just a bit better, a bit more reliable, just so that we have it all completely sealed. Yeah, I don't want to go to one tap system like I explained in the other video. That just won't work for us, but we'll get something figured out. Now for you guys to watch me do that, because I'm not going to get wet. So I'm only going to do the back 3 tanks. Henry has only got 2 and a bit tanks to finish down there, so he only needs he said about 20,000 litres. So yeah, the back 3 tanks with them all full is going to be about 22,000 litres. So that's why I'm only going to fill the back 3. Truck is back down here at Henry's Brook pad. I'm not talking outside because I don't think you guys can hear me with that wind. It is, I think we're gusting to 40s to 50s. It's just ridiculous. But no, just called George on the 2-way. It's currently about 20 past 2 at the moment, and I think we're going to do a fill around 5 o'clock. We'll see how we go with that. Yeah, because he's on his outside laps, we'll try and time it so it's down here, but yeah, we'll see what happens. And then yeah, fill him up nice and full so he can go to midnight tonight, and then tomorrow we'll start our shifts 24 hours. So the wind has finally calmed down just a little bit. George has finally finished his outside laps. It's 5 o'clock now. I think when he started it was around 11, so it's been a bit of a drive for him. But we're about to do a fill, so Levi's out there with the truck. George is getting the auger ready. How are those outside laps, eh?
Fun.
No comment?
Yep.
A few blocks?
Just a few.
Just a few. Looks like I'm going to be busy in the telehandler in the next couple of days trying to push some blocks out.
They're not too big.
Not too big?
No, but they are quite big enough
Affect the header. Yep. Oh well. So yeah, the boys will fill this. I honestly don't really need to be here. The boys have got this all covered now. They know what they're doing. I'm just out here for moral support, really. We will go and grab George's ute and go put it out here somewhere so he doesn't have to walk 2 k's tonight to get home. George's ute back here. Levi looks like he's just about finished the egg flow, about to move under your ear. So I'm just going to jump up into the tractor and just do my recordings for that load. And yeah, we'll be ready to leave George to have a night to himself. Just filling out the log. So what I'm essentially doing, I'm using a app called AgWorld, and I just put in the paddock we're in, how many hectares he's done. So if anyone was interested, it took George 71 hectares to complete that outside lap, 3 laps. And then I'm just putting in the rates of what we're using, you know, so urea, Agstar manganese and the T4510. And the cool thing I like about AgWorld is it gives you your the units of everything. It's going to be really hard for this camera to focus, but sure it's not focusing. Anyway, it gives you like your units at N, so with all that in there, the units at N is 26.7. You know, it just gives everything. It's you know, the manganese 2.24. I find it's just really handy, especially for when you're wanting to keep an eye on how many units at N you're applying to your paddock. Last year we did 100 units at N, so it just really helps out when you're, you know, trying to chase that figure with calculating it off your urea and then your flexi-N, and this takes into account the nitrogen that's, you know, in the Agstar and all that. So useful tool. Anyway, the boys looks like they've just moved on to urea out the back there, and we'll be done. I haven't gone up there, I'm just leaving them to it. I think Levi filled the back bin just a little bit too full, and the boys have been having to shuffle with their hands in order to fit their buckets in. Looks like they got it, but lesson learned. Levi's driving back to the shed now with Wally, and we'll fill that up now so that's ready for the morning. George is just doing a seed check and then he'll be off. Yeah, because he's going to go to 12 o'clock tonight, or it'll probably be more like 11 with ag flow. It'll run out. So yeah, we're going to fill the truck up now so it's ready to roll first thing in the morning. So Levi and I just need to fill this up with fuel and product, and Levi will be able to get rolling. Well guys, that's the end of a very productive day again. We were able to get over and switched varieties, and George is rolling. So yeah, no, very happy with how the day went. We've got that all loaded, ready to go for the morning. So I'll see you guys in the next one.